Coleman.
Yes.
Is this your first gig in the Netherlands?
No.
I ask you especially that because you are so famous that you must have been here.
Many times.
When did you knew that you wanted to become a musician? Was it because of the environment, the family? Maybe you were
When as early as I could remember having a life from a very small child, I hear music. I always play the rhythm, beats, patterns. As early as I can remember being a little boy, I always wanted to be a drummer.
So you
It didn't matter what, music, nothing, drums, that's all I wanted,
Yeah.
always.
So I can say that you were destined to become a musician.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
To become a drummer.
Yes, musician, that's a drummer.
How did you get as a drummer into the blues?
I hated the blues.
That's
I didn't like the blues at all because as a little boy growing up, black down south, I grew up in Florida. I hear the blues everywhere, all the time from the older people. And being a young person, you don't particularly want to hear what the old people are listening to. And it's so if I hear the blues, Howling Wolf, Muddy Waters, and all of that, and B.B. King, anything, when I was a young person, I was like, oh man, I hate this blues. You know, I didn't particularly like the blues.
so, like you said, you met, I think, all the blues guys of the blues.
Everybody,
famous one.
yes, everybody. But once again, as a young person, I want to play the younger music, dance music, Sam and Dave, James Brown.
Yeah.
And as I get into my teens, Sly and the Family Stone, and Earth, Wind and Fire, and Parliament Funkadelic, and even rock. I like Led Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones, and a lot of Black Sabbath and Deep Purple, and everything. But I didn't realize as a young person that the rock guys is something familiar. Oh, they're playing blues.
Yeah.
You know. But as a young black person, when I was growing up doing the civil rights movement, the last thing a black man in America want to think about is an old farm black person. Yes, sir, boss. Yeah, you know. It was like, man, I'm like James Brown. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. I don't want to hear, yes, sir, boss man. That to me, that was insulting and degrading. I didn't like it.
You were the normal funky young guy.
Yes, I was very young and don't understand, my culture yet. But I finally discovered it.
Like I said, the list of persons you played with is very long.
It's a very long list, yes.
Can you name for you what were the special ones or the?
Otis Clay, B.B. King, Bobby Blue Bland, Johnny Taylor, Buddy Guy,
Right.
Coco Taylor, James Brown, Otis Rush, everybody, you name them. I've had the opportunity to play with them, and it's amazing when I think about it. It's amazing that I had a chance to play with all of those great people.
Are there still names missing on your list or on your bucket list?
No,
No?
no,
You have met them all.
I have. I've been very fortunate. Yes.
And then now you have to tour with a guy like Henry.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
How
Poor Henry. He has to
How
tour
does it
with me.
feel?
This isn't your first time that you're
No.
doing things together now.
No,
It's the third tour actually.
Third tour,
I was,
you're always playing in Europe with, no, mostly.
No, before I was playing with some French musicians who were my brothers, my French brothers. They actually were the guys that gave me the opportunity to come to Europe as Tony Coleman, and they were my backing guys. But the way you want to tell them how we met?
Yeah, we met because of a common friend, Mr. Otis Grant.
That is grand.
Yeah.
That is my mentor. He changed my life because I've been playing with him for 15 years. And the first time we met was in Italy, one gig of his, and click. And the magic
So he was recording his CD, and Otis, and he wanted me to play on a track or two. So they send the tracks to the States, and I went in my studio and played on the tracks. And when I heard him playing, it was the feeling of, this must be a black guy in him, you know?
You know, Italy, they don't have that many black guys. You know?
No, we eat a lot.
Little black.
But his playing was very fluent and feeling, and I said, I really would like to play with him, you know. And since it's so difficult, too difficile to bring musicians from America and get paid properly, I work with he and his musicians, and we rehearse, and I work with them, and I'm very happy with the way we play together, you know. And
Good to hear it.
The best thing is when we rehearse,
Yeah.
because he is teaching us his knowledge, as he's giving us what we need, because those kind of stuff is not written in books. So his knowledge is just here and here, and he's passing us all his knowledge, and that's the best gift we can have.
It's just great.
Just spending some time with him is just
Wow.
wow.
Yeah.
I have to pass on what I was taught to them and anybody that wants to learn this while I'm here, because we will not be here forever, and I am the older one. So when I'm gone, they can carry the torch, keep it going, and pass it on.
Yeah.
But with the right ingredients. Not too many times people think of blues as just guitar music. Blues is music with guitar leading it sometimes, but there's more to it than just, you know, that's, you know, it's a lot involved with the soul and the feeling, you know.
You must tell us something special about one of the guys on your list. I'm speaking about Mr. Riley Ben, the BB. Everybody calls him the king of the blues.
But he never called himself the king of the blues. He was a very humble man. He was a very insecure man on stage. He never thought he was playing good. He always wanted to play better. Very seldom would you hear him say, "Boy, I played good. That was a good show." He'd be like, "All right, pretty good. We did pretty good. Yeah, but I think we can do better, though." You know, he never thought, "I'm the man." He never. But he was very tough about playing the music, being on time, looking good on stage, thinking only of the music. No heartache, no headache, no toothache, no butt ache, nothing. When you play with B.B. King, when he was in his prime, it was like a prize fighter. We're going to take the punches and we're going to play until we can't play anymore. And after that, I'll see you later. But in the meantime, he was very focused about making the audience happy. And he was a teacher, a mentor, and a friend. And my dad, King Coleman, and he were good friends. My dad created the dance called the Mashed Potatoes with James Brown, King Coleman. So I come from a king and I went to a king.
Nice to hear. Like you said, you have worked together with a lot of guys.
Yes.
But for your own solo work, we don't have that many records or that many releases. No.
I have 4 records.
I think just 4, I think.
4. And
1, 2, 3, 4, yes.
the first record was done, my first solo record was done
96.
King Snake Records, Out in the Open.
Out in the Open.
But the first one as a group, with a group of friends, with the bass player Russell Jackson and guitar player Mel Brown from Bobby Blue Bland on Antone's Records, was If It's All Night, It's All Right. But my first solo record was just me going to King Snake Studios in Orlando, where I live.
As a drummer.
Yeah, so playing on a lot of songs and writing songs with different artists. and I had some songs, and Bob Greenlee would say, Tony, why don't you do your own record? And he said, your songs are good. And I was thinking, nah, man, it's all right. It's not really that good. And then he said, yeah, they're good. We should do a record. So I did the first one, and I started thinking, yeah, I want to come on and just do my music, and I'm inspired by singing drummers like Buddy Miles and Levon Helm from the band, and Don Henley and the Eagles, and Karen Carpenter. She was a singing drummer.
Yeah.
And any drummer that sang, but behind the kit. But sometimes in the blues world, it's like, what, the drummer is the leader of the band? Yeah, I am. And it's about, the music is about ground up. To me, if you just hear guitars all the time, I consider that on the top, from the top down. I play from the bottom up, because the rhythm is the foundation of everything. And that's what I try to do with my music. I try to incorporate B.B. King, Bobby Blue Bland, Johnny Guitar Watson, John Lee Hooker, whoever in the blues, Etta James, Coco Taylor. But I also try to introduce some funk, like Bootsy Collins, and just more funkier type of blues. Make the kind of blues that make you, when you hear guitar blues, you see people doing this.
Yeah.
When you play good groove music,
Yes, you move.
that's what I want. That's what I want, the heartbeat. And blues on top.
Henry, maybe you should take TC with you to the studio.
Yeah. Actually, we are working together on my album,
Yeah. Oh,
and it's gonna be released.
that's
again.
your new album.
Yes,
Yeah.
my new album.
Yeah.
He's producing it, and we're going to the studio next week to do some new stuff. Who knows?
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward for that.
It's great to hear. Mr. Coleman, do you
Yes.
think that there at this moment are enough young drummers to take over?
Yes. There's phenomenal young drummers, but some of the drummers, they're playing too busy, too much. BB always told me to say, son, say, in my opinion. So, in my opinion, that some of these drummers are playing too much stuff. Because when you are a drummer, the most important thing is to be a solid foundation. So you are the rhythm section, the bass in rhythm and blues music. Black people want the feel. Let's play that. Now everybody else. Everybody solo. Bass. Everybody. Drummers sit back in the back and they think, wow, everybody's having fun soloing. So maybe I should too. Now you just lost the feel. The most important thing for a drummer to do is take responsibility for locking everything in. And there's very few young drummers who understand that and appreciate that. The best drummers, you don't really notice them, in my opinion. Take, for instance, the world's worst, considered by other drummers, would probably be considered one of the worst drummers. He probably has so much money when he die and he come back in the afterlife, he still won't be able to spend it. He plays Charlie Watts. You see Keith Richards. You see Mick Jagger. Everybody's jumping around, having fun. He's 1,000, 2,000 euro, 3,000 euro, 5,000, 1 million, 2 million. 4 million. So you see, it's a lot you could get from being simple, but with feeling, you know. And a lot of drummers today, when I do drum workshops, I talk about that. You don't have to be doing tricks and setting your drumsticks on fire to be good. You know?
Do you think that the music business changed over the years, the last years?
Oh yeah,
The last decennia?
I think the music business has changed for the worse, in my opinion.
And please explain that.
Because you have producers, people hire one producer for 15 different artists, and it sounds like that person, what he hears and thinks. You have machines, digital. If you can't sing, don't worry about it. The computer fixed it. If you make a mistake, don't worry. And it can repeat. It's not played. The human element of music is gone.
It's gone, yeah.
The feel, the soul. You don't have to sound like everybody else because that's another one like the other one attitude. Oh, so that's making money. We need something just like that to make money. And it's about money and how many millions and how many things, but it's not about the music and the soul. Everybody can be good without sounding like each other. You know, it used to be a time when I could hear a drummer and say, oh, that's Ringo Starr. That's Bernard Purdy. That's Dennis Chambers. That's Steve Ferroni. That's Chad Smith. You know, I could hear the drummer and know who it is. Now you don't know because it's digital, perfect. Real music it's not like a robot.
No.
It moves, it swells, it sways. It's like a heartbeat. If your heart is ticking, tick, 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 tack, tick, 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 tack, you're hyperventilating. It changes based on how you feel, you know, and that's what's missing, in my opinion.
And maybe you will add something or just sing.
No, this is for me just a dream that come true because playing with Tony is magic, you know. I've been listening to all the records, and now I'm here with him. So, what can I say? I feel blessed, and I hope I can do this again and again and again in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And music, different music, musicians, I'm 63 years old, 63 years young, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm an old man. But when I would travel in the early days, when we travel around the world, if we see musicians, someone with a guitar or a horn case, you go, "Oh, that's one of my people," and you don't care if they play rock, jazz, soul, country music. You see musicians that used to be, "Hey, how you doing, man?" "Fine. Yeah, I'm a drummer." "Oh, how you doing? We're together," you know. But nowadays, musicians, keep those people away. I want to be over here. Bring my entourage. I want some girls. I want some drink. I want some smoke. Well, that's always there, but but you know what I mean? It's not camaraderie. You can learn from each other, you know, from different places. That's how you bring the world together, through music. We're like shaman, doctors. People don't want to come to a concert and have to think about anything. They want to let go, and we bring that to the people. That's what the gift we have been given. I hear someone say, "I looked on the television and I saw the girl screaming and I said, I want to do that." You know, I don't care about anything except people feeling good, and then I feel good doing it, you know.
What was the best advice that somebody gave you?
Play your ass off all the time and don't think about anything except what you're supposed to do, and do the best. Always do the best, and no excuse. I feel bad. We don't have time for that. Just, it's mind over matter. You just give. We're supposed to give, not to. It's not about look how great I am. It's about look how great I can make you feel. You know, we're together, everybody.
This music you communicate.
Yes, indeed, to communicate, and it should always be used for positive change. For positive change.
Mm-hmm.
If you interject negativity into music, there's something wrong with you. You don't belong in this group. You need to go away.
I have two last questions.
Okay.
When will it be enough? Enough for you?
For me?
When you threw your sticks away? Not that you have to stop. Don't misunderstand me.
No. When I can't. Boom! When I can't do that, and it becomes. Time out. Time to go home and rest. Go get 'em, champ. It should be a time and a place, in my opinion, that you're not old and tired because you want to do this. When you can't do it anymore, it's time to pass it on. But as a musician, sometimes we don't know when to quit. I saw it happen to BB. I saw it happen to BB King. The BB King I knew, bam, he was sharp. He was a ninja guy. But when he got old, it became, how you doing? Quack, 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 quack. When that became the show instead of the music, okay, you did your job. Time to go. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we salute you. But some people, let's get as much money as we can.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And when you're a musician, you don't care about money. You care about pleasing others. He was a giver. So if he was told that he needed to keep giving, he gave till he couldn't give anymore, and that's not good. So to answer your question, when I get to that point, I'm ready to go. If I try to get back on that stage, stop me.
It's almost very difficult.
I don't care. There's a biblical term that says something about once a man, twice a child. There's something biblical. Mm-hmm. I'm not very religious, but to say the human soul is once a man, twice a child, meaning at birth you're a baby,
and at
the end you become a baby again.
Yeah, so. If
you're at the beginning, if I give you a bucket of candy, you'll eat the candy until it's gone. You have chocolate all over your face and head. Okay. Now you have to tell the kid, stop it now. It's no more candy for you. When you become that as an old person, it's time to stop. So yes, tell me, and if I don't like it, too bad.
Okay, my last question.
All right.
What did you learn about yourself by being a musician?
What I learned about myself is there's always room to grow. There's always a way to see things different from the way I might think. There's always something to learn from everybody. Even if it's something not to do. I learned as a musician that you can communicate with people by sometimes, I talk a lot, as you probably noticed. I talk a lot. But I also learned, believe it or not, to listen. Not to hear you. I listen to people more. I've learned to listen more because a lot of times if you're sitting in a restaurant and there's a table or two and you hear people speaking, you can hear that. Now if I ask you what are they saying, you go, I don't know, I'm not listening, I hear it. So now I learned to, yeah, Tony Coleman was in town. He did it. He sounded like crap, No, but I learned to listen.
Same for you, Henry.
Yeah, I like to learn from people like him. So when I have the chance to do this, I'm very, very happy, because I can pass through my musicians that they're younger than me, and one, the trumpet player, is 26 years old. So for him, it's just wow, everything is wow. But being in the same room with him, tomorrow it'll be another musician. Spend one day with him and you're a better musician 30 seconds later, So I just feel blessed and I can't wait to go on stage in half an hour to play.
Okay, Tony Coleman, Henry Carpaneto,
Thank you.
thank you again for your
Thank
time.
you, and
And thank you for making our world better with music.
thank you. That's my mission, to bring humanity together through music, to bring goodness and humanity of all humanity together
Yeah.
with respect and love. It's not just a song or something to say. That's what my heart, that's my gift, to bring the world together through the humanity of music, and to share and to learn from each other and to get along.
Have a good show tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Very
Henry.
much.
And thank you all very much too.